ING Direct Australia is...
Hi guys, we're here at ING Direct. We're going to be interviewing Roy, who is the team leader for the Unix systems here. Alright, let's go outside and take a look.
Once again, thank you for your time. And we'd just like to start off by, what is your position at ING Direct?
I'm team leader for the Unix services team, looking after the Unix, Oracle, Linux systems, and we run the core banking systems on those.
So what are your typical duties on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis, the majority of it is team management. I have a team of 7 people, contractors in there. So mostly looking after the team's requirement, going to meetings, meeting with stakeholders. All the business units are basically our customers, so we try to keep a good relationship with them. So have regular meetings for projects, meetings for different works that are coming up. So typically it would be team management and basically going to meetings and attending meetings.
So what are the qualifications required for your role?
I don't think there's anything formal that's required, but obviously your experience counts towards a great deal to being in the position that I'm currently in. Other than that, there's different courses, things like management courses, like diploma of management or tactical leadership programs. That sort of thing does help because that basically gives you the groundwork of actually how to manage teams, and technical teams and high-performing teams. So, but formally, there's nothing. There's not a formal qualification requirement.
Do you require any prior experience within this career?
Definitely, experience it counts for pretty much most of the background that you have. So for myself, most of the work that I've done so far is basically experience that I've gained in my previous roles, and also being in ING Direct, just the years that I've spent at ING Direct. So experience does count for a big part of what I'm currently doing.
So what are the roles, technical skills required for your role?
Technical skills would be things like Unix system administration, database administration, but coming down to, again, if you look at it from the team management level, there's technical skills. I mean, there's soft skills, but there's skills like how to manage a high-performing team and how to coach and mentor people coming.
So would the technical skills be more or the soft skills?
At this stage, I think the soft skills are actually a lot more than the technical skills required, because the thing with being a manager is you actually at this stage. Probably my team members know a lot more than I do technically, so I let them do that job, and I just try and manage them, guide them to just perform better.
What personal attributes are required for this role?
Personal attributes would be to have a good communication skills. Again, every person or every business unit that I interact with is my customer. So for me, I mean, it's in my benefit to have a good customer relationship with them. And so, regular communication, good communication is highly critical. Other than that, just having empathy for your team members, understanding your team members, understanding people on the whole, actually helps a lot as well.
So what is it that you enjoy most about your current role?
I think to get the most enjoyment out of seeing things come to fruition, things that I'm working on. So projects that we work on, seeing them being completed, seeing them being implemented, that's the biggest sort of satisfaction that I get. And also just seeing that my team members are happy as well. So because at the end of the day, they're the people who are actually doing most of the work. So making sure that they're happy, they're being treated fairly. That's the satisfaction.
Do you face any challenges in your career?
Yes, we do. Challenges are, there's probably a couple of different levels of challenge. One is the internal team challenge to make sure that everyone's working cohesively. So again, everyone's an individual, so they have their different individual personality. And as with everywhere, there's clashes between people sometimes. Sometimes when you're under pressure, you actually tend to sort of react, and that's when people are probably say or do things which they probably don't mean, but that happens within the team as well. So just maintaining and managing all that. So managing a good relationship between the team members, and also the same thing goes across teams. So making sure that my team is or has a good relationship with the other teams across the business.
So as a team manager, do you enforce any code of conduct for your team?
We do. We have we actually follow the ING Direct code of conduct. So, but as a manager, it's my job to try and enforce it and make sure that people follow it. So things like proper use of the internet, proper use of email. We have pretty standard and pretty strict guidelines on what to do and what not to do. So we do follow that code of conduct.
Do you have a few examples of these codes of conduct?
So I mean, for internet, things like obviously you can't use internet for your personal use, or you can't browse sites which are deemed to be offensive. So and you can't browse sites like gambling sites. You can't browse. So things like that. So we need to make sure that people are adhering to that policy. Also things like excessive downloads. You can't do downloads for your personal gain. Obviously, if you're doing it for your business, then it's fine. But yeah, I mean, even there's a fine line. I mean, because people are here for pretty much 8 hours a day. I mean, obviously, you can't expect them to be doing company work for 8 hours a day. So you have to give them some downtime, and they're allowed to go and browse news sites and websites and stuff like that. But you have to draw a fine line where you need to make sure that they do that, but obviously at the end of the day you're working on company premises, you're using companies' equipment, companies' bandwidth.
So if they don't follow, is there any actions taken against them?
We do. So again, because there's policies, they are pretty much controlled by HR.
Okay.
So if there has been someone who's actually gone against the policy or whatever, then obviously we get notified, and then there's proper channels that you have to actually follow through.
The whole series.
The whole series of managing that sort of incident. So HR gets involved. I mean, if it's just a small thing, it's just a one-on-one. But other than that, it goes down. So HR gets involved, and then it's a more formal kind of procedure that we need to follow.
So what would be the average income for someone in a similar role to yours?
It's a pretty wide band. It depends on your experience and on the company that you're working for. But I would probably say anywhere between, the band would be between $120,000 to probably $160,000.
So are there any future career prospects?
Definitely future prospects in terms of, you could go two ways. You could go either to stay technical and go towards the architecture side, so be a solution architect or an enterprise architect, or you could go try and go towards the management side of things, where you tend to become a technical services delivery manager, or IT operations manager, or infrastructure manager. Those are the two different